What's going on, guys? It's the Sneaker Professor. I'm back with one of the best times of the year for sneakers, if not the best time, especially for me. And we got the Gamma 11s. The first time we've seen these in 12 years. I'm sure you guys have seen so many reviews on these, but the difference is I'm going to actually show you a dead stock pair of the 2013 release when it originally dropped with the box and different comparisons. You guys already know I go in depth to my sneakers and I know my history. But let's start off with the box. So you've got a little bit of a different box than last year. These are kind of similar to apparently the Rare Airs that dropped this year. And I think it's kind of cool. Comes with that old pull tab that we used to see on the boxes from I think 2009 to 2015. Maybe a little bit after that too. I think the Space Jams had it as well in the cap and gowns, but you guys kind of know what I'm talking about. And then you've got that Gamma hit at the top of the box as well, the 23 at the side, and of course on the front as well you've got your size tag. And this box opens easy, a lot easier than the old boxes do, but there isn't any plastic inserts or anything in the box. It's just that kind of carbon fiber paper. Nothing special. But then we've got the sneaker. So we've got the Gamma 11s, and man, I can tell you these are very, very, very nice in person. And this was a pretty easy cop, and I'll give you guys a story a little bit later on why it was an easy cop. But right when you get into the shoe, you guys have seen reviews. It's an all black shoe predominantly. You've got the Gamma hits here. You've got the Gamma hits on the Jumpman Jordan, and of course on the traction pods at the bottom. And then you've got the actual, like the yellow, different hits on the shoe, and as well as the Jumpman inside the shoe as well. And gotta give these a smell test. So I got these actually from Sports Check. Shout out to Sports Check, and it was a very easy cop. A lot of people said it's gonna sell out. There's gonna be like long lines, which there was. And like I said, I'll get into that story later. But honestly, I'm pretty pleased with these. The only thing that I would criticize is nothing to do with the shoe. The shoe is honestly fine. I think they did a pretty, solid job. It's a GR. Like, what do we really expect? We're not going to get premium material. But I wish they did the plastic inserts in the actual sneakers and then the plastic insert in the box when you flip the box. And I'll show you those when I compare the 2013 pair. But the actual patent leather this year is better than the Columbias from last year. Last year was a very, very thin cut of patent leather. It was trash. It creased very easily. But the actual patent leather on this, I wouldn't say it's like premium. I mean, it's patent leather and it's Jordan brand, but it's thicker than last year. It feels better. It doesn't feel quite like last year. And then obviously inside we've got just regular old paper inserts, which is kind of annoying. Like, they couldn't at least give us some cardboard inserts or something. And guys, in terms of actually paying resale, I don't think there's going to be a resale value with these, or if there is, it's going to be probably between $30 to $50 over retail. It's going to be nothing insane. And small sizes are probably still sitting in certain places. The only sizes that I think sold out are maybe like 11 to 13. That's just to my knowledge. But if you guys actually look around, you'll probably find these. And over the weeks, I think you guys will be able to get these for retail. I think there will be another drop of these. These were a mass-produced shoe, but they were also way more high in demand than the Legend Blue 11s, Columbia 11s, whatever, than last year and previous years. So this definitely was a shoe you actually had to put some footwork in for. So we've got the brand new 2025 box and the 2013 box to my right hand side, and you guys can already obviously see the differences. We've got that big huge box versus a tiny box. Literally, it's kind of dusty because it's been sitting around, but you can see kind of the size difference on how big this box actually is. Let me just put them side by side. Yeah, it's got, like, this is a huge box and with that big 23 at the top. And these boxes were they're amazing. And I don't know if you guys know, well, I'm sure most of you guys know, but the slide out part was like the coolest. That was the coolest part of the box. Whereas you also had this cool plastic insert at the top. And then of course you had that carbon fiber type paper, and I still got my receipt in there as well. So I thought, honestly, with the old Jordan 11s, that was cool. But this is a lot more simple in terms of just, flipping open the actual box. You have the shoes right here, but I wish they had that plastic insert over top. But I do kind of miss these old boxes because it just added, like, it made it feel premium. Although it was a general release, it made the shoe feel kind of more premium. Just the details kind of around the box and everything. Like, it was just a really nice box. These boxes, like, when you saw these, like, I just got really excited, especially back in the day. But now we'll compare the actual differences between the 2013 and the brand new 2025 pair of the Gamma 11. So right away, I don't know if you guys can tell the difference just from like me holding it right here. I'm not sure if you guys can even see properly. But honestly, I haven't even compared these yet. So me comparing these for you guys is actually going to be the first time I ever looked at these shoes side by side. We've got the brand new pair here. We've got the 2013 pair here. And obviously right off the bat, you can tell the 2025 pair has way higher cut of patent leather, which I think looks better. And it has a better, more sleek shape. The toe box is a little bit different as well. You can see the patent leather kind of raises a little bit higher on the 2013 pair. I don't know if you guys can kind of tell. And then of course you've got the 23 printed on at the back. It's honestly pretty similar. And then of course you've got that Jumpman Jordan at the front with the laces. Like honestly, this looks like almost damn near identical in terms of like the mesh part of it, the laces, the Jumpman Jordan part of it. Like that's damn near like the same. And even when I'm comparing the carbon fiber looks damn near the same. I won't even lie, like it's slightly different on the new pair, but like it looks the exact same damn near. I think Jordan Brand actually did a fantastic job on these. And just like honestly, if you see the inner part of the shoe here, like you can just tell the higher cut patent leather just looks so much better. It's way higher. And the Jumpman's a little bit different as well. This Jumpman looks a little bit more filled in. This is a 2013 pair and it has a butt crack. And this Jumpman isn't as filled in and it doesn't really like have a butt crack. So honestly, I think that's pretty cool. And another thing is the Jumpman used to face the opposite direction. Jordan Brand changed that and it now faces the right direction. So now you have the Jumpman facing the right direction. Perfect. But a big difference again on these shoes, this is the 2013 pair, is it came with these cool plastic inserts that these don't come with. So honestly, that's another thing that I'm kind of, you know, disappointed of. But when you're comparing the actual shoe, it's very like identical. There's not much differences except when it comes to, I would say, obviously the height of the patent leather and maybe the color of the bottoms. I don't know if you guys can tell because I can barely tell, but this new pair is slightly darker, but that might be with age as well. But you guys can see the blue is a little bit darker on the newer pair. And like I said, guys, I don't even know if you guys can tell because it's even hard for me to tell. When it comes to the leather at the top of the shoe, it's not a good cut of leather, the upper part on either shoes. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. But honestly, they did a pretty good job. The Jumpman is the same inside. I have no real complaints with these. If I was to pick between these two in terms of which shoe I like better, I'm gonna say the new pair is actually better. And a lot of people will always say the old pair is better, but no, we can't be biased here. The higher cut patent leather looks better. The shape is better. Honestly, it just looks way better. The way the Jumpman faces in terms of like, you know, this shoe, the Jumpman faced the other way on the 2013 pair and it didn't look as good. I think it looks better like this. It looks more sleek. But honestly, I was just happy these came back. And, you know, it's kind of like, it brought me back to like high school days when, you know, when people at school were wearing these and you saw people come in at like lunchtime and you see them wearing these new Gamma 11s. You know, nowadays these kids get to see the 2025 pair, whereas my era in high school or grade school, I can't remember what grade I was in, but we saw these ones, and I think I was in grade 9 or 10 when they dropped, something like that. But man, they were fire. I just remember seeing these. They were cool. But yeah, guys, a quick little story on how I actually picked these up. So I went to go and line up at a local JD Sports, and when I went there was cars parked there, but nobody was actually lined up outside. So when I actually went to go line up, a bunch of people started coming out the cars and telling me they were already in line. And this is, by the way, this is outside. So it's at a mall that's like outside. So when I actually went to line up, people, like I said, came out the cars and, you know, some people told me they're outside, they're already in line. I said, in my head, I'm like, yo, that's not how it works. Like, I don't know if people had an agreement like, yo, we're all lined up outside, let's wait in our cars, whatever. That's cool. But honestly, anytime I've lined up, that's never, ever, ever been the case. And they were like, yeah, it's cold, so we waited in the car. I'm like, bro, it's the first person who's lined up there. Once you leave the line, your spot's gone. I'm just used to that. But I'm not going to complain and argue with people over a pair of shoes. And, you know, maybe they had a different stance on how they do things. I'm not sure. But, you know, anywhere you go to line up, it's never like, oh, you leave your spot. The whole line's like waiting in their car. That's not how it works. Who's ever in line first is going to get their pair first. That's just, you know, that's how it works. And ever since I've been collecting shoes, that's always how it worked. No matter the weather, it's raining, you know, it's snowing, below freezing. If you're in line first, you're getting that pair. There's no waiting in your car. So that was a little weird to me. I'm just like, whatever, you know. I'm just like, you know, it's a good day. if I have to pay resale, I will. And I was just like, okay, I'll go. I think I was sixth or something. I'm like, whatever, I'll go sixth. Cool, no problem. But then the lady at the front came and put a sign on the door that said there's no 11.5 to 13. So I'm like, oh, damn, they don't even have my size because I'm a size 13. Call my homies up. I'm like, yo, we got to go to a different mall. They don't even have these. We go to the mall. There's lineups around the corner for JD Sports already. The Foot Locker lineup had a long lineup. I'm telling my homie, I don't know where we're going to go get these, but we're not going to get our pair here at JD Sports. I don't even think they'll have enough pairs in this mall. And then Foot Locker, from what I heard, is doing raffles, which means Champs was too. So I'm like, yo, we're kind of out of options unless we're going to wait for, the actual drop at 10 o'clock when Foot Locker comes and, Champs and all these other websites. But then it thought to me, I'm like, there's a Sports Check in this mall. Sports Check usually gets Jordan 11s. At least where I'm from, Sports Check usually gets Jordan 11s. They don't get every Jordan release, but they get some of them. So I'm like, you know what? I think Sports Check's getting them. I go on the website. I see that Sports Check's getting them. I go on where you can check the stores for sizes. I'm going through all the sizes that they have. Me and my homies have a size 12 and 13 that we want to get. I'm checking all the stores. They all have it. And the mall we're in has it. So I'm like, yo, you go downstairs because there's 2 different levels. I'm like, you go downstairs. I'm going to stay upstairs. Let me know if there's a lineup downstairs. So he goes downstairs. He tells me there's no lineup. I call Sport Check and they didn't open yet. It was like 8 minutes before open. The girl's just like, yeah, you better get here now because there's only one size of each pair that we have. So one size 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, etc. or whatever. So I'm just like, okay, we got to go. So, and mind you, the JD Sports is right around the corner. So like the lineup can kind of see the Sports Check. So when I was there, I was trying not to actually like wait in line and like make it look like obvious because I don't want people like ransacking the place and they get the pair. So they open the doors. I walk into Sports Check and 2 people actually saw me go in and I think they knew what I was doing. Like they knew that they're like, okay, this guy was just waiting in our line. He went to Sports Check. Something's going on. So they actually came into the line I was in at Sports Check. It opened a couple minutes before the JD Sports and people are already waiting in line there. I went down, got my pair easy. I said size 13, boom. My homie got his pair a couple minutes later, size 12. And yeah, I'm pretty sure they sold out super fast after that because everyone started rushing in once they seen us, walking out and stuff. It was actually kind of chaotic and I was kind of shocked how long the lines actually were, considering this is a huge mass GR. And honestly, they're not going for that much over retail. So I'm just like, are resellers and people really lining up for like a $30, $40 profit? Or is this just everybody who wants the pair? So I was just kind of confused. But anyways, it was honestly super easy to get. I didn't even have to wake up early. I always end up getting my Jordan 11 around Christmas time. You just got to put in the footwork to do it. And if you're around any area, check all your local stores because sometimes you'll see a long lineup and people don't know the other store actually has them. But that's it for this video. That's a cool little story. And I'll be back on the next video. So peace.